Good afternoon and welcome to Carnation Crafts. We are live in the Carnation Crafts studio. As always, it is wonderful to have your company. So I come in with sad news. We have unfortunately sold out of the Crafters Select Proud to Be. So unsurprisingly, because we were at limited stock earlier. So we're not selling it because it's not there. So just to give you the message for housekeeping, that we don't know the date that this is coming back into stock. And the reason we don't know that is just various different things, being Chinese New Year and others. So the message from Carnation is if you go on and you try to buy it now, it will let you register your interest in it. And so when it comes back in stock, they can let you know. Alternatively, and probably more valuably for you, is to get yourself onto the Carnation website, sign up for the newsletter, and they'll send you an email. There'll be information in that about when it's coming out, but also you're going to get 10% discount off the whole site when you do that anyway. So the newsletter would be my advice. But we sold out. However, we are going to have a look at the boards just so you can see it, and then Miss Sharon is going to do his 2 demonstrations. So we'll only be here sort of half an hour, something like that for this one, and then we're coming back to do a Facebook preview at 3 o'clock where I will be showing you through the boards for the new USB, which launches tomorrow night. So hey Sue, are you okay? Hey Karen, it is lovely to have your company. I've got YouTubes up here as well, so if you're at home watching on YouTube, please do say hello and I will say hello back. But in the meantime, let's go to Sharon with those boards.
Yes, I'm not surprised this is sold out so quickly. It is just so cute. So these are the dies. We've got here, well, we've got Ireland, Scotland, Wales and England. And then as a last minute addition, the clever team, Nick and his team, have added in this little cute fella for America. So he's going to work with the same die as the Irish one. So he's got a lovely little red, white and blue outfit with his little bow tie. So really, really cute. So he's an extra. I suspect they've added him by now, but they were literally adding him this morning to the downloads, to the vignettes.
So he'll be an extra vignette. So
Yes.
You'll get the normal set of vignettes for these, which are huge, and Sharon will go them. But the US is a separate one. That's a free gift to you guys that Nick and the team are doing. So you can go and download that as well. And that'll all be on the Carnation Crafts website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. Your mirrored vignette will look like so for those characters. And so you get to cut out for a time, which is super useful for you, super useful for us. So there you go. Sorry, Sharon.
And of course, having the double-sided, it is fabulous because it means you can have him facing whichever direction you want to, which, you know, when you're building a scene, and particularly with these where you've got the 2 characters and you might want them facing each other, it's great that you've got that choice. So that's really, really fabulous. So let's go through the boards. So let's start at the top. We've got Ireland. So you've got the Irish flag here with this little mouse, and then you've got this one in his little leprechaun outfit. Very, very cute. Then for Scotland, again, we've got the flag, and then we've got this cute little mouse with his kilt on and his bagpipes. Then for Wales, again, we've got the flag, and then we've got this little mouse here with his dragon outfit. Then we've got St. George and the English flag, and of course, because St. George, the story of St. George with the dragon, you could also use that Welsh one with St. George, so that one you kind of get double use out of because he works either for Wales or England really because of that. You've also got on the dies your outlines, so if you want to mat these, perhaps if you're putting them on a patterned background, you want them to stand out, you've got that option too. So that's all the characters.
Just to let you know that we just had it from HQ that the US mouse is now live. It is a separate download to the main downloads that you get for the rest of them. So please do go and get that. It is your little gift today, which is very exciting. So it's all there for you. So this is the whacking great big pack of downloads that you get for free. It's all of the artwork done by Carnation for free to you. So Miss Sharon.
Yes, these are your flags. Look at it. This is them all printed. As Carla said earlier, I would recommend just printing out the ones you want as you use them because it's unlikely you're going to need all of these. But it's great that you've got pretty much every single country in the world here. So I won't go through all of them, but we'll just flick through a few to show you. And I don't even know what half of these are, which makes me feel very ignorant.
Half.
But
Half. You don't know what half of them.
What did
That
I
means
say?
you do know the other half.
Oh, well, probably not even half.
So on the Carnation
Yes,
Crafts
I'm probably being
page,
optimistic there.
on their page on Facebook, they're currently doing a thing saying how many of the 10 flags do you know? And there's people in the comments saying 6, 7, and I just said to Sharon, "Oh good Lord, I only recognise 2 of them.
No.
I do not 2 out of the ones on the Facebook page.
I'm gonna have to have a
so
look after.
hopeless with flags.
I'm really bad with flags. I don't know. It's a useful thing to know though. These would be good for research. You could print out a set of these and write them underneath, and that would be very good. If you've got children learning about flags, this would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Valerie Woods says, I was reading 2 names at once then, I was economising on words. Valerie says, sorry I'm late. Please don't apologise, Valerie. It is lovely to have you here. Andy Rushton says, love these. Such a clever idea. They're great, aren't they, Andy? Amanda says, hi guys, back again in the warm and heavy snow outside. Is it, Amanda?
Ooh.
Whereabouts in the world are you, Amanda? Karen says, hello ladies. Hello to you all. I don't think it's snowing here, is it?
No, not yet.
Do you think it will?
It's going to be in the minus later.
Apparently, where I live, it's going to be -6 tomorrow morning.
Well, I'm very glad I'm getting new slippers. Alison says, good afternoon, just ordered mine, and of course other stuff jumped into my basket. Fatal. Well, Alison, I hope you used your 10% discount for all of your other stuff, which you can get in your newsletter. It's got a code in it that you can use.
And we've got the lovely rainbow pride flag there as well, which is useful. I'll skip through because we have literally got pages and pages of these.
Amanda's in Leicester.
Oh gosh, that's not that far away from us, is it?
Oh my word.
And just to mention this last page as well, because these aren't sort of country flags, but you've even got a white flag, which could be used for some quite humorous cards. And then of course you've got this lovely checkered flag. So there's lots of different ideas you could come up with that. So yes, that is all the flags.
Hey Maggie Davies. Hello. Maggie says, hi everyone, I love these. They're so cute, aren't they, Maggie? So nice to have something different, isn't it, and sweet that we can play with. And also something that's personalised to send to the people we love, you know, across the board. It's just nice to have that aspect to it. Tracy says, afternoon ladies, much love. Hey up, that's going fast. Oof, oof. Much love to you all. Bought mine before I went to work this morning. Well done. It's sold out. It's gone. We knew it was going to go. It went mad. Mandy says, hello again, ladies. Just printed out mine ready. That's brilliant because if we have a massive snow flurry, but you should get it tomorrow or the day after, depending on your post. But they will have been picked, packed and sent out today. This is going so fast. Snowing in Scotland. Linda's watching you from hospital as my dad's had an operation this morning. I hope he's okay, Linda. Alison says, good afternoon, snowing in Scotland. Susan says, ordered mine at 6 a.m. this morning, was going to the hairdressers, going away on Friday to Birmingham. Well, very fancy.
That's near where I live.
Judy says, hi guys, lucky enough to get my dye at 1:04 this morning. Didn't want to miss out, so I stayed up. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I need to be in bed by 8 o'clock. You guys are just rock and roll. I cannot stay. Hence the slippers. Oh, I'm painting myself in rather a bad light right now. It's been a long time since I did the night clubbing thing.
Oh gosh, years.
The discotheque.
The
right.
discotheque.
Are you ready for a demo, Miss
I
Sharon?
am, and we're going back to islands.
We like.
I can't resist Ireland since I'm half Irish. And again, I've printed off. When you look at your vignettes, you've got some lovely backing papers for each of them. You've got a white rose for Yorkshire. You've got shamrocks for Ireland. There's some lovely daffodil paper for Wales. I think there's some tartan there. So, and each of those have got different variations. Oh, there's a lovely rose one as well, pink roses for England. So this is from the shamrocks. There are, I think, 3 different shades of this pattern. And I've gone with the darker one here. This is just going to be my first layer. So I'm going to pop that on there.
Jane says, hi ladies, my kind husband bought them for me this morning. That is, keep him. That's all I'm saying.
Then there is also, on the downloads, different variations of this lovely shamrock pattern. This one has got quite a lot, but there's another version with fewer. So, and I think they're a bit bit less bold than this one. So there's a few different variations, which is really useful. So I've cut these from one of the nested frames. This was square labels, I think. And what I've done is I've got some of the Carnation Gold Glitter card, and I've used 2 of the nesting dies together to create a bit of a frame. Now you might spot that my frame isn't that even, because obviously when you're using nesting dies to make your own frame, sometimes if you don't do it very well, which I haven't, I would say that's just a happy accident, because actually it looks quite good because the bottom part's thicker than the top, so it looks like it's a deliberate mistake.
We like a happy accident.
And I could have just kept quiet and you wouldn't have known, and you'd have thought I'd done that deliberately. But I wanted to mention it because I don't want you at home, if you do that, to think, oh no, I've got to do it again, because you don't. Half the time things look just as good when you do them by accident, not quite right. So
happy accidents are usually a very brilliant thing.
It's usually a way of discovering a new way of doing something, isn't it? So,
or at least just own it as if it was meant to be. The worst thing you can ever do is when you're putting a card up is say where your mistakes are on that card, because you're directly pointing it out to people. Whereas
most
if you
people wouldn't notice. I mean, if I hadn't have said that, you would never have known. But I like to mention it because that's the whole point of us being here.
Yeah, you're demonstrating. It's different, isn't it? But it's when you know, I used to do it, and then I suddenly thought, actually, I don't think people would know.
No.
Sue says, stayed up till midnight and ordered at 12:04. I'm with you with the slippers. Bought some last week as I didn't get anything from any from Santa. Well, that was mean.
Oh.
Alison, I was crafting at 1:30 this morning, so hubby didn't see his birthday card. It's so lovely and quiet then. Oh, yeah. And it's like when it snows as well, and you get that peace. And Judy says, can I ask, Miss Sharon, what die you used for that layer? I missed what you said.
This is the square labels.
It's a set of nested, Judy. Judy. So these are the square labels.
And I've just taped 2 together, not very well, to create a frame. And that's the great thing with nesting dies. So I've used one for the outline here, and then I've gone with the smaller one to create a frame. And this is Carnation Gold Glitter that I'm using here, because I thought gold goes really well with the whole Irish shamrock type theme I've got going on.
That backing paper is beautiful, isn't
it? It's lovely, isn't it? Now, second mistake from Sharon today. I should have tucked this in before I glued that, but it's okay because we can lift it up. So I'm going to have this at the bottom so it looks a little bit like grass, but I want to tuck it under that frame. And I also will probably need to trim it because it will be sticking out.
Is that the Rolling Hills from?
It is. It's from Rural Charm. I've really used quite a lot of the Rural Charm dies with these because of that countryside theme. They just work so well because obviously all of these are sort of UK themed, aren't they, and Ireland. So
so here's a thing for the chat at home while you're sitting at home watching Sharon do her demonstrations. Here's a little challenge for you. While you're looking at all the different flags and thinking about all the different flags, can any of you think of certain points in different collections that you own or that you've seen that would go brilliantly as far as the different countries are concerned? Like we said about daffodils for Wales this morning, and we mentioned the thistles. Can any of you think of any more? There's your challenge for the time that we're here.
Yes, because I bet there's loads of different dies that would work really well with these. So for this card, I'm not going to use the flag one. I'm going to have these 2 dancing here with their little leprechaun outfits on, and I'm going to round them off because obviously to shape them just makes all the difference really. So especially with their little bellies. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of a shape before we pop them on. And this shamrock background is perfect for this. I think any of my family would be happy to receive this for Paddy's Day. So I'm going to pop them on here with a bit of pin flare.
It's ages since I've been to Ireland.
It's a very long time actually since I've been. My dad is from Dublin. So I've got lots of family there, but I probably haven't been, I'm thinking, probably about 20 years actually.
There are leeks in a die called Keen Gardener. So that would be great for
leeks.
Wales.
Perfect for Wales, yeah.
Thank you, Sue.
There we go.
Look. These are so
They're
cute.
so cute, aren't they? They really are.
It is just the sweetest Crafters Select. I mean, they always do amazing dies, full stop. Crafters Select have always got that lovely kind of, there's something almost tongue-in-cheek about them. There's something very sweet, and these are gorgeous. The detailing on that mouse cheek and the little ear that comes down is
It's
just
the ear,
beautiful.
isn't it?
Yeah,
So
it's
sweet.
definitely the lugs. They're just gorgeous. So that is the first die. We are going to go on and do a second, so it is a shorter show than normal, mainly because we've sold out and there is none of this left for you to buy. A little bit of housekeeping then while Miss Sharon is just setting up for her next demo, and that's just to say, if you've missed out on this, or if you happen to see anybody in the group who might have missed out of this, if you would be so kind as to help me disseminate the message that we will be getting more of this in. We don't know when. Normally we'll be able to give you an extended date. We can't this time. So if they try and buy it on the website, what they will be able to do is register their interest for it. Or they can go onto the Carnation website, sign up for the newsletter, and the newsletter will have an alert when it's coming back with a date so that people will be able to buy it then. We think it's probably going to be around about 6 weeks. Could be sooner, it could be later, but we can't give a date, whereas normally we can. Huge apologies for that. Shirley says, Ewan would be cute for a Scottish theme. Absolutely. Oh, Ewan's handsome, right? He is such a handsome little chap. I love that cow. Fairy tale collection for the suit of armour and dragon. Brilliant. Absolutely. So there's so many ways, isn't there, of starting to bring everything together, and the ways that we can then use it for, so sort of like with the fairy tale collection, brilliant for kids cards. You've got all the different ways of playing. Are you ready, Miss Sharon?
I am.
Okay,
I am.
well, let's take you over to Sharon for another demo.
And we're going to England. So, as always, I've made my card blank from 350 Carnation card. So I'll just line that up. There we go. And then I've used some of the Perfect Papers from Ponderance Place for my background. So I've gone with this sort of, it's like a pale yellow actually, or a cream for my first layer. And I've just cut this slightly smaller than the card front to start with.
Coastal Currents for the Scottish theme. Absolutely.
Yes. And then I've used a blue and that same yellow, and these are the Hessian circle nesting dies, and I've put some foam tape on this first one.
Stags for the Scottish
Stags
theme
would
as
be
well.
good for Scotland, yeah. There we go. So that's the first one, and then I'm going to go in flat with this pale yellow one. There we go. And then we're back to Rural Charm. And this is the wall that we were talking about earlier where they interlock, so you can put them all in a row. And what I'm going to do is place those. They're going to be my sort of starting point, and then I'm going to fit all my characters around those. So I've got that signpost one again for a bit of height, so I'll pop that one on first because obviously that's going to be behind the wall.
Miss Tiztaz is saying with compliments for French or Italian, with that sort of steak and the wine and all of those elements that come as well. So that would be an amazing collection. I actually was thinking with compliments for the, is it Lost in a Book die, with a little mouse sitting on top of the stack of books from With Compliments, where you could cut the one mouse away and pop one of these mice on top of it to go with the With Compliments. You could still do the side panel with the tall stack of books, would be really nice.
Oh yeah.
Sue's saying we could use the flags for new jobs abroad or relocations.
Yes.
My sister lives in Australia. I could send her one.
Does she?
She lives in, well, at the minute she lives near Sydney, but she's about to move to the other side of Australia.
Both my stepchildren are in Australia too.
I'm very excited. It's the place to be,
It's the
apparently.
place to be. So this is the set that's got these lovely daffodils. So I can create a really lovely full border along here as well. So I'm just going to pop those on. This set just works so well with these.
So to all of you at home, to Miss Sharon and to Miss Taz, if you could move to any other country, which one would it be?
Australia.
Australia for Miss Taz?
I have lived in Spain.
You have?
I'd quite like to live in Ireland, actually.
Ireland for Miss Sharon, Iceland for Miss Taz. I've lived in Italy. I think for me, I would probably choose Canada. Maggie says, I lived in Sydney for 23 years, been back 6 years and love our lovely English countryside. There you go, Maggie. Yeah, it's one of those funny, I mean, when I loved living in Italy, but I think when I came back, I was really happy to be home as well.
You do miss the UK, don't you, when
Yeah.
you live overseas?
Alison says, I would choose the USA. Any particular place in the USA? Karen says, America. If I was to move to America, I think Seattle, I think I would want to go to, I think.
Yeah, I think I'd go East Coast.
Seattle, I think I would love.
I'd like to go for craft shopping to the States.
I know, it would be amazing, right? And obviously I would want to go to Nashville.
Yes, that would be quite
Go and catch some Dolly Parton if ever she's at the, what do they call it? The old, my brain's gone. Miss Taz is shaking her head, this is beyond her. Beneath the cherry blossom for Japan, yes.
Oh yes, of course.
And
Grace and Calm was full of sort of Japanese feeling.
Grace and Calm, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good shout out, Tracy.
Look at that.
So he says, no place like home, love visiting places, but you can't be being at home. Alison says her sister lives just outside of San Francisco. That would be cool.
I like San Francisco.
Christine says Ireland.
Yeah, I'd quite like to live in Ireland for a while. Now I'm going to use, I've got for the England, I've got this one with the flag. He's going to be standing on the wall. And then I've brought in the dragon because I've got George here. So I thought we'd have these two as well. So I'm going to use all three. So I am going to give these a little bit of shape.
They're so blooming cute.
They are, aren't they? They're just so fabulous. So he's going to be facing this way.
The artwork that Carnation produce is, it's funny, I was talking the other day about this. The thing with the Carnation artwork that I love so much is that I'm so used to how good it is that every now and again it suddenly catches my breath because you're just like, I work with this and I'm so lucky to make cards with this because it's so beautiful.
It's
and
the little details, isn't it?
Well, if you drew one of those mice and you did a sketch of that and you coloured it in and you put that in, you'd be so proud.
You would, and it would take me weeks.
Literally. And we sort of take it for granted a little bit because it's just sort of what we're used to.
So I'm just adding in a few little rocks here just to fill in the gaps really and create a bit more of a grounding for them. And then the last thing is a sentiment. So I'll just put another rock there, overlapping that one. So that kind of brings that all in. And then I've got a nice space here for my sentiment. And you've got a great selection of sentiments when you go to download your vignettes. So I've got an oval here. This is from the Slate, I think.
It is. And
then I've printed off Happy St. George's Day. So we're going to pop that on there. So I've got
Mini Soaring Dove from the USA vignette. Yes, Tracy Moore.
With that little US mouse. There we go. So that's got 3 mice on this one. There we go.
That is absolutely gorgeous. So this morning show and this afternoon show, has given you 6 demos, all completely different, for you to have a go with and to have like hopefully a little bit of inspiration. I know most of you already know this, but if Sharon makes a card, if I make a card, or if any of the DT team make a card and it's posted in Facebook, you are absolutely allowed to copy it. That is 100%. You go for your life. We have to be careful in the group that it is a DT member's card that we're copying, because obviously we need to ask permission from somebody if it's not. So that, just to put that out there, but you are absolutely welcome. There is an inspiration page on the Carnation Craft website. We also have a brand new calendar on the Carnation Crafts website that you can go to, click on. It's all color coded. It tells you where we're going to be on what days and what time we're going to be. So if you're like, oh, you know, I fancy next week sitting and watching some Carnation, you can go onto the calendar and be like, that's when they're on, that's where they're on, because we've got the 2 channels. So that's something to let you know. The other thing is, I've just had confirmation from HQ as well that if you go onto the Carnation website now, you are able to go to the Crafter Select. There are people still wanting to buy it. We don't have any left, unfortunately. But if you click on it to buy it, it will produce a box for you that says get an alert. So you can just see that at the bottom of the screen there, get an alert. Enter your email into that box, and as soon as we know when we can get it, we'll send you an alert saying it's coming back. And that is also the same for the newsletter. My advice is do both. But my advice very much is sign up for the Carnation newsletter. And the reason I say that, and it's so important because, you know, money's money. The newsletter gives you a code for the next month, and that's going to give you 10% across the discount across the whole of the website. Now that's important not just for dies, but for cardstock, for glues, for applicators, for all of the things that we use within the craft. Even things like, you know, pin flare and all that lot, it's all on the website. So your craft essentials are all there. Get your 10%. We are done, unfortunately, with Proud to Be. It was shorter than we'd imagined, well, kind of, but it just flew. So we're sorry to anybody who didn't get it. Massive thank you for all of your company this morning. And this afternoon, I'm going to be back in half an hour. So we're just going to get set up, and I'm going to do the USB preview, just be a quick run through the boards. Have a look at what's coming on the USB tomorrow. So we'll be back at 3 for that. So hopefully you'll be able to join me then, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you, Sharon, massively. Thank you, Miss Taz. We'll see you in half an hour. Take care. Bye.